Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to talk about. Are we here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta? Or should I say Real Housewives of Atlanta? Um, Mixed with a little bit of Ready to Love. I said it right. Ready to Love. Can y'all believe that Porsche Williams has gone out and hired the man from Ready to Love? Y'all remember Mike from Ready to Love? Where are all my Ready to Love fans, my day one Ready to Love fans? Y'all remember Mike? Mike from Ready to Love. I don't know, maybe season one. Remember he was dating Shay? Back then, remember he was a wannabe actor, and we're like, he came over here and wasted her time. All he did was come on here to be an actor. And lo and behold, 5, 6 years later, how many years we down the road now? Mike has now upgraded all the way to become the fake boyfriend of Porsche Williams. Porsche Williams is going to find a way to make some money. Porsche Williams is going to find some way to make her money. I mean, you can't be mad at her for that, but you can't be mad at her because do you really believe anything that she does? Not really. I mean, I can say this about Porsha. I remember when Porsha was on, remember she left the show for a minute and then she came back. I always believed that the only reason they brought Porsha back was because Bravo believed Porsha was going to bring to the screen her whole marriage with Simon. And lo and behold, she signed her housewife's contract saying, yeah, I'm married. I miss Simon Gobadia. And then when I come back on this season, pay me a whole lot of money because I'm going to bring the storyline of me and Simon Gobadia. And then next thing you know, right before they started filming, Portia's filed for divorce. And we didn't see nothing about the Simon Gobadia storyline. Do we still understand completely why Simon and Porsha got a divorce? I'm still kind of wondering. I thought Simon was going to jail. And he never really went to jail. He did get deported. He got deported. But I'm wondering, is that cause for divorce? I mean, if you was really in love with Simon and Simon was rich and all of a sudden he got deported had to go back, live in Dubai or Nigeria, would you divorce him or would you just stay married to him and then just go back and forth? Portia's like, I came to get what I got, and that was to get this house, which she got. And on this episode, she said, yes, her house, because she's paying all the bills for now. For now, she got to keep this check coming in from Real Housewives. And to keep it coming in, she done got a whole fake boyfriend named Mike from Ready Love. I think it was season one, y'all. I think it was season one. She didn't even get no high-priced fake boyfriend. She got a low-priced, didn't pay a lot of money for him, boyfriend. Portia's something else. When I look at Porsha, and I know we're going to get introduced to her new love interest. What's the lady's name? Sway. We're going to get introduced to her. And do y'all believe that love story? I don't. You know why I don't really believe it? I don't believe it because I haven't seen any Instagram, any pictures with that woman, Porsha, and her daughter. That's how I know it's not real. Because if you think back, when Porsha hooked up with Simon Gobadia, Porsha was posting pictures of the whole family, the whole African family. Even had Dennis in them damn pictures really early on, before they even supposedly got married. So right now, I feel like Porsha is exploring, that psychic said she was going to get into it with a lesbian.
A problem with lesbians.
Oh.
You're gonna have a problem. What?
Oh. All right.
Okay.
I received that.
Well, that must mean this relationship is going to come to an end because get into it means get into it. And you're going to have some problems with the lesbian. And right now, I don't think there's no problems. I think it's all great for the show. But later on, we must going to have some problems, like the psychic said, and she going to get into it. One thing you can say about Porsha is, my belief is that Porsha morphs into everyone she dates.
whole, and then when I'm whole, then I will, open myself back up so I don't make the same mistake again. When you go through a bad enough breakup, you're like, I don't like nobody. Like, you're like, I don't like nobody. I was sitting there, I was like, do I like women enough? Can I get with a woman? Like, who can come in and fill this void? Like,
I believe is that Porsha morphs into everyone she dates. Everyone. If you think about it, who is Porsha Williams? Who is Porsha Williams? When she was married to Cordell Stewart, Cordell wanted a stay-at-home wife, a wife that was going to be raise his child and eventually have other children himself, other children. And, he was looking for like a trad wife almost. And that's what Porsha morphed into. Even the girls on Real Housewives of Atlanta would always say, girl, you do everything your husband says. He says be home at 10 o'clock. You at home at 10 o'clock. You got to ask for permission for everything. He governs the way that you dress. He's controlling, right? But Porsha was willing to play that role as long as she was being paid for it. Porsha is incentivized by money. Let's be real. She's incentivized for money. So to me, I feel like who is Porsha Williams? Because she obviously wasn't the trad wife, right? She wasn't the trad wife. She played the role. She put up the facade. She acted like it. But the minute she got this job on Real Housewives of Atlanta and she started making her own money, she said, Cordell, I don't need to be your trad wife because I got my own money now. And what we're told is Porsha started living a different life. And that's also what made them sort of get divorced. Because at this time, Porsha's like, I don't have to do what you say, Cordell. I don't have to come home when you tell me to. I don't have to wear what you want me to wear. I don't have to be quiet when you tell me to be quiet. I don't have to hold my tongue. I don't have to do none of that because I got my own money. And that was how that relationship fell apart. Now, fast forward. The next person she meets, what's his name? What's the baby dad's name? She meets him. And she says, Dennis McKinney. That's his name, Dennis McKinney. And she says, ooh, now what Porsha says is, I'm going to morph into what Dennis is. And what was Dennis? He was an entrepreneur. So all of a sudden, Porsha leaned into her entrepreneurial life. She didn't just stay being a Real Housewife of Atlanta person. She started opening several businesses, kind of channeling the lifestyle of Dennis. He's an entrepreneur. He owns several restaurants. Porsha said, oh, let me morph into Dennis and let me go out here and be an entrepreneur too. Let me, really get my naked hair business going. Let me do what was the sheets, the bed sheets she did? She still Porsha pampered something. Let me lean into my entrepreneurial spirit as I channel Dennis. And then she decided to have a baby. They had a baby together. And she says, now that I got what I want, which was the baby, Dennis, you and I, we don't need to be an item no more. We don't. Porsha figures out what she wants from you. She gets it. And then once she gets it, she's out, right? So, she channeled the whole entrepreneurial spirit, which was great. She got her businesses off the ground. I think they're still doing well now. So it's all great. That's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at Porsha because she gets what she wants. She goes after what she wants. And to hell, how it makes you feel and what happens to you, she gonna get hers. So then you say, well, what happened after Dennis? Well, after Dennis became the African princess stage, Porsha said, I'm tired of working. I've been out here, working on these businesses, Amazon, Pamper Sheets, Real Housewives in Atlanta. I'm tired of having to be a slave to work. I'm going to now slip into the African princess, which is what Simon Guobadia wants. He wants a beautiful African princess. I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to wear my African garb. I'm going to have an African wedding. I'm going to get an African name. I'm going to start dancing like an African. I'm going to do everything African. I'm going to become Simon Guobadia, Porsche Guobadia. I'm going to be African. I'm going to be good friends with Shamia because Shamia is also married to an African, and we're going to go out on African double dates, and we're going to have an African family. I'm going to dress my child in African attire. I'm going to lean all the way in to Africa. That's what I'm going to do. And then just long enough though, I'm gonna lean into it long enough to get this money. And now she gets the money and she says, great, I'm out. So you say, well, where is she now? Well, right now, I believe what she's leaning into is she's with this lady named a Sway, right? So you say, well, what is she going to channel with the Sway person? What I think Porsha is channeling right now is her sexy vixen stage. That's what I think. I think this relationship with this woman is all about sex. I'm not saying they don't like each other. I'm not saying they don't have things in common. I'm not saying that they don't enjoy each other's company. What I am questioning is the longevity of the relationship, because I'm not fully convinced that Porsha is going to change her ways, for one, which is what I believe she does, is use you until she gets what she wants and then dumps you. And I'm not quite sure she wants her daughter to see this relationship, because as of yet, we haven't seen any pictures of her daughter interacting with this woman. So she's clearly keeping this lesbian, a fluid, whatever you want to call it, life separately from her daughter's life. You see her on vacation. She on vacation, but that daughter ain't nowhere around. When she was with Simon Gobadi, it was about family. It was about traveling together. It was about living the life of a nice African princess. And what I believe this relationship is about with this other lady that we're going to see is, I think it's purely about lust and sex. And you can tell by the pictures they take together, Porsha is leaning into her sex vixen stage. And maybe this has to do with the fact that when she was married to Simon Gobadi, she said that, he had erectile dysfunction. She said that, he couldn't get it up. So maybe all that time where she was playing the African princess, she had to go without. And so now she says, hey, on this next go around, I'm going to make sure I get loved all the way up, all the way up. And why she settled on this woman, I'm not for sure. I guess maybe I'll figure that out once I see her. We know she likes to go after someone with money. Porsha not going to date anyone that doesn't have money. And although this young lady seems like she's done very well for herself, I don't think she has the kind of money that Porsha likes to spend. I think Porsha likes to spend a lot of money. It's hard to go from a Simon Gobadia now to an average person. It's really, really hard. And I wonder if this lady was her first choice, right? Because she's going to have a love interest for the show. There ain't no way Bravo would keep Porsha without a storyline, and the storyline's got to be her love life. I mean, that was the reason they brought her back in the first place, was to have a storyline around her marriage, and she didn't deliver. It was almost like she faked them out. She goes, yep, this is going to be my storyline. Give me my millions of dollars. And the next thing she knows, she says, sorry, we breaking up, and there'll not be no filming about Simon Gobadia. So now here she is bringing this other lady on here. And maybe this young lady is on here too for advertising. I know she's an entrepreneur, so who knows? I have no idea. But do I believe it? No, I don't believe it. Not for longevity. I believe she's having a good time. I believe she's enjoying herself. I believe she's trying to make everyone pretend that she's the next Niecy Nash. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's a part of Porsha that still has some conservative ways when it comes to her daughter. And I'm not even for sure Dennis would go for that. I'm quite sure Dennis is blocking the interaction too. The daddy got some say so, and so does the grandmama of the daddy. That's what I believe. But I tell you what, Porsha, she's like a chameleon. She's like a chameleon. And I tell you, if anyone wants a playbook on how to get a man, I said get a man, follow Porsche Williams, because what Porsha does with every love interest that she has is she makes them feel like they're her everything, that they are her everything. She's actually enmeshing and becoming them.
whole. And then when I'm whole, then I will, open myself back up so I don't make the same mistake again. Like, who can come in and fill this void? Like, oh my God, somebody. I have got to be able to sit with someone and feel a part of what I felt with him.
So I think it's an overwhelming feeling from her partners to feel like, look at this woman who's just sucking me up, because she's kind of sucking you up to suck you dry. That's really what she's doing. And she basically morphs into these people. And I think that's a strong, I mean, of course, she's beautiful and all these other kind of things, but there's a part of Porsha that leans into making you believe that she's everything you would want in a person. Everything you would want. And she just sucks you in until she sucks you dry, almost like dehydrating you. And then once that's done, she tosses you to the side. So we'll see how long it takes for the expiration date of this new love interest. Sway. Is that her name? Sway. We all think it's going to end. You think it's going to end at the end of this season, right? After the airing of the last season. Will Sway be on the reunion? Will she last that long? Or will Porsha find a way to do kind of what a Quad did on her reunion, Married to Medicine? She didn't even invite her love interest. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts until then. But I got to tell you, Porsha, you good girl. You are really, really good. That's all I got, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.